Welcome back to another project, one of my colouring in projects. This one you'll see I've already had a little play. These projects come in all kinds of different number of layers. This project is 5 layers. It's quite a nice big project, and this is going to go onto a card. But what I wanted to show you what I've been doing here is each layer, this is the base layer. This layer, number 2, will go on top of number 1. Number 3 will go on top of number 2. Number 4 will go on top of number 3. And number 5 goes on top of number 4. So this top one here, number 5, gets repeated 5 times. So on your base page, this is where you can work out your color palette choice. And as you can see here, I've been trying to decide what color I want to do my flowers. And I've done some blending. You can check out my blending tutorial to find out how I do my blending. Or you can watch along when I do the coloring in, and you'll probably see. But I'm thinking I wanted sort of like a creamy color, I think. I'm thinking beautiful creamy flowers. So I'm thinking I tried using my cream with some yellow, but I've done some cream with some pink and some yellow, try and make a bit of a peachy color there. So I'm thinking I'm going to go this color for my flowers. So I'm going to jump ahead and color these in, and you can skip ahead if you want, or you can watch me color these in. I'll speed it up and put some music to it. It's quite mesmerizing watching the coloring in speed art. I just uploaded my Forrest Queen coloring in speed art video, so you can check that out. There's a link below, and that was a lot of fun. That was so much fun with all the hair and everything. But for this one, I'm going to get ahead and color these in so that we can put our project together. still a good idea to continue to colour the other flowers because you can see through. I'm going to show you some other projects in a second to show you what I mean, but you don't need to put as much effort in, but still, you know, it's good practice as well. You can play around with some different things. I've also done a little bit of shading as well to create depth. So here's this one here that I've done. This is 3 layers. This is printed, so the original I coloured and is stored, and then I printed and cut this one out on the Cricut, and these will come ready to assemble in packets on our store later this year. I've got 70 odd projects like these, and this one is one of my absolute favorites. I love gardening, and I just love this, repurposing the gumboots. So yeah, so that's that one, and as you can see, you can sort of see the other layers underneath, but not really. But it's best to have them coloured anyway, otherwise you'll have white, and white tends to show up. Here's another one that I've done. This one was 5 layers as well, and these are, once I've made a lot of these, I'll do some videos on putting them onto cards or in frames or even in scrapbooking, anything that you like they can be used for. They can go on a gift, decorate a gift. If you want something a little different to a bow, a little pretty bunch of flowers like this would be pretty. These 2 here aren't projects, but they're kind of a way of being able to use your colouring in elements. So like if you've got some colouring in pages and you want to cut them out like die cut, you can layer them like this one on a card with the foam tape, and it's quite pretty. Blank inside at this stage, but yeah, it makes quite a pretty card. This one's hand cut, so you've got a lot of white space. And then this one here, again, this has these 2 as projects, so they're quite layered and deep, so you get that kind of pond look. You've got these sitting in behind and the dragonfly sitting on top. You can move the wings so that it looks like it's flying. It looks quite pretty. I've added some glitter to the wings, some glitter glue on top to give it that kind of iridescent look. You can cut a lot closer. The projects that you will find in our store will actually have minimal white, very similar to these 2, because the Cricut's going to cut these ones out. The Cricut can get quite close. I do still need a little bit of the white to keep some structure, otherwise these would all be too flimsy. So yeah, so we're going to make this one. I'm going to cut all the elements out. I'm not going to do a speed because there's a lot of cutting in these ones. I'm not going to speed up the process. I'm just going to do it and come back, so it'll be like a second for you guys. I'm going to use these scissors that come with the Cricut. I like these ones because the point goes to the end. I do have another little pair of scissors, but the tip is rounded, but these ones, as you can see, are quite pointy. They actually come with a sheath for safety, so that's pretty good. I'm also going to use some flat tape and some mounted tape, and I'll explain why we use both the flat double-sided tape and the foam mounted tape as we get to that section. So I'll cut these out and then I'll be back and we'll put this together. Won't take too long. Okay, so I have cut out all the pretty layers. Isn't it pretty? Looks so pretty on this paper. There's my mess. Now I made a decision, you'll see from my mess, that I cut the background out of the original layer, because as I was cutting, I felt, oh, apart from bashing the camera, I felt like I really wanted to show through. See how you can see through? There's the red behind there. I wanted to cut out between all the petals so it will add to the depth of the final piece. So you don't have to do that. I didn't have a craft knife with me, so I used these. They have a little bit, they're not completely pointy, they're like flat across that way just a little bit. But I didn't cut myself, but my finger's definitely stinging. But I got there. If I had my craft knife with me and my cutting mat, I would have done that. I'm in the studio at the moment and I don't have enough room down here to store everything. It's actually a shop that's open on the weekends, and I use the desk as my filming studio because it's lovely and quiet and peaceful here, and I really love being in this little shop, so it's my filming studio. At home it's so noisy, there's always someone home, there's always something going on, so that's why I'm here. So going forward, this is a lot of work. I enjoyed it. I love cutting out. It just sort of, I put music on and just relax and just, yeah, enjoy it. Probably took me maybe half an hour, not too long. You don't need to cut it out. What you could have done is, I'll show you this project. This one I'm doing next. See how I've coloured in this background? So I won't be cutting this out. And I haven't fully coloured, I've just coloured a little bit. And it's very faint, but I've created a line, so you can cut that line. You don't need to keep the line in, but you can cut along that line, and then that will go on the card as a almost square. It's rectangle, so you don't need to cut all the background. You can colour it in. So this one's coloured in. This one's a lovely, pretty light one. So I didn't do a lot of colouring in, which was lovely. So I'll be doing that one next. But for this one, here's all the layers. Now this is another thing as well. If you make this and you think, you know what, this looks amazing just like this. So if you had a lovely picture frame that you wanted to put something in, look at all of this together. Isn't that just beautiful? It could be just like a whole field of flowers. So pretty. Take the coloured one out there, so it's just stunning. I think it's beautiful. But anyway, I'm showing you how to make the project. The other thing is I'm currently in the process of making a masterclass project where I've just created 5 different butterflies that are the monarch butterfly, of different kind of styles, and I'm going to color them in and create a project, but it's going to be like 100 butterflies all in 3D in this amazing project. So I'm so excited about that. But you could do something similar with this. So once you see it all made together like this one, you can make a few of them and layer them in a garden setting. So if you've got a cottage picture that you've colored in and you want to frame it, but it needs a little bit more, you can make some of these projects to place in front in a shadow box frame. And then this one. Now another thing you can do when you're colouring in is you can make each flower its own colour, and you could have a posy of colours. So even though it looks quite lovely there, all layered, what we don't have is the mounting tape there, so we haven't got all the depth. And another thing you can do is with the flat tape is stick your hearts with the flat tape and make your petals come up with the foam tape, and that creates depth. But I'm going to go on and do, it's what I call embossing. It's kind of shaping. So it's not embossing where you add the ink and powder and heat it and it makes an embossed image. This is more, you're going to create the shape in the petals to create a more curled look. So I'm going to just give you a quick demonstration on how I do that. So what I do is I get some fabric. This isn't ideal, but again, like I said, I'm at the shop. This is actually my bag, one of my bags. You could use a washer, a soft washer, a soft t-shirt. This one's not that soft, but it'll still work. And you can grab a pencil. You can use a white pencil. I'm gonna grab the cream just so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna start with the top flower. I'll show you this one and then I'll do the rest and come back. So what we do is we think about the shape of a petal, and if you have a look, some curl in, some are flat, and some curl back. For the purpose of this, I'm going to curl out. So I'm going to curl it around this way. So what we do is we turn it upside down and we just colour lightly. Don't need to be too hard, just to start with, just to show. Just be careful not to press too hard and rip. Be gentle. You can see it's already starting to come off the fabric. Basically what's happening is you're warming up the fibres of the paper, and the pressure that you're applying is causing it to curl. And I'm not going to the edge, because if I go to the edge it might flatten it out. So I'm just keeping away from the edge and just doing inside. Same with the top. No, don't go all the way to the edge. I'm going to come down to here. I'm just going to show you. You can see here how it's curled. If I turn it over, you can see how it's curled here. Then what you can do, I'll actually do this at the end, but you'll come back over the hearts and just very gently just go over that so the heart comes down. So you can see how that petal is curled. So I'll do this whole flower quickly for you. I've got a few tutorials on the channel of where I do this. Well, not really tutorials, just where I've been colouring in and I've tried the embossing. I've done it in the mushroom card, the 3D mushroom card, and there's a flower one that's in 3 parts where I've coloured the flowers, so I show a bit of blending in that. Then I've embossed the flowers, and then I've done the background. These are all different things that I want to show you another way. Sorry, I'll just interrupt myself. Another way you can do this is hold it in your hand. No, I have warm hands, so if you don't, just warm your hands up, make them nice and warm. Like I said, you're warming up the paper. It's like with hair. So when you're curling your hair, you use the heat to curl, and then you wait for it to cool down, and then you take the roller out, or the hairbrush. I use a roller brush. So you curl it, and you can see there, just by doing that, I've created a curl. You can shape it when it's warm. I prefer the pencil myself. See how the pencil made it a little bit bumpy there? You just come around, you just rub it, warm it. You just curl it with your fingers. If you, on this one, I've gone up and down and it's created this curl. I'll show you on this one. I'm going to go across this way. Remember not to go to the edges. So you just sort of want to do on the inside. Circles. You don't want to use a dark pencil because you don't want it to come through. If you want to see what you're doing, use a cream or something really light or light blue. If you're not worried, just use your white pencil. The white pencil doesn't get used very much, so you may as well use it for your embossing. So see how that one, this one here is curled like this, and this one's a little bit more rounded shape. Like it's rounded at the tip as well. So you can come back on the first one. You don't want to go to the top. You just want to press down in here, and it might start recurling that tip in. Yeah. You can just press with your fingers down in the center to get the petals to come up. 2 more to go. It's worth it. As you can see, this is quite flat. And this one, actually I think I have the mushroom one here. I'll just get it. So this is the mushroom project I've done on a card. I'll just zoom out a little bit. So it's on a card. This one's lots of layers, but I've curled the mushroom so it gives lots of depth. It's got lots of layers. I've curled the petals. I've even curled the butterfly's wings. It's subtle, but it's the difference between the flat and the curl. So the gumboots would have done well for the curl because they are a rounded object, and then these. So it's worth taking that little extra effort. The leaves aren't curled, so they're quite straight. This is straight, but I've rounded this part, the butterfly's wings, and the petals that you can see there. It's a beautiful project, that one. That is on my YouTube channel. You can find all the projects on our website or our Etsy store. You can come in books or packs. The finished coloured ones like these are finished. They come as a kit. Like I'll show you quickly. These ones aren't packaged yet, but they're just ready for me to make. So these ones come coloured, cut, and you can either emboss them, glitter them. Again, like with any project, you can make them separate. They don't have to be a project. So yeah, lots of fun. A fun way of creating art, I think. When I first started making the projects, I was just so excited to have a picture that was flat and then turn it into an actual object. It's just such an amazing feeling. So this will do for now. So you can see there it's all lovely and curled. I'm going to just take a little bit of time to smooth it out with my hands. This is the top flower, so you want to make sure it's lovely. You can use glossy accents to add any kind of water droplets or shine, some glitter in there. There's lots of little things you can add to it. So I'll put it up against these so you can see the difference there. This is the same flower, this one and this one. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop the video, go ahead and emboss all of these, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've done all of these. Didn't take long, about 10 to 15 minutes. So now we just do a little bit of housekeeping, whatever you want to call it. So when we do cutting on, like I noticed on this one, especially, it sort of scratches off the ink a little bit of the paper. So we just get a black pen. I use the Artline pens. You can use a Posca paint pen, but just make sure it's nice and thin. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to very, very carefully go around. Sorry, stay in the shot. And just put a bit of black ink carefully over any white bits that really show up. I'm not going to do it on everything, but just any that seem really, looks like I've torn the paper. My light's shining on it quite brightly. The lighting in the studio is a bit average. I don't have all the equipment that other YouTubers have. I will one day. One day. This will do for now. Remember, a lot of this you're not going to actually see anyway once you layer it up. So this is one job. I'll fast forward to the next job. Okay, so I've got that done. Now, this is not necessarily housekeeping, but it's a little bit of a thing I noticed that that I would do. I forget how to teach. I just do what I do and then try and remember. But see how this petal is attached here? I'm going to very gently just cut down to the heart. I don't really want to see it because it still needs to be there, but it's just going to make it sit better. You don't want to cut anything that's overlapping like this, like flower on flower, but when petals are touching like that on the edges, so I just got to find that flower on each one, which is this one. You can do this with butterfly wings too. Butterfly wings quite often come attached like this, but if you just split gently there, you can, when you're mounting, create depth between them. Put one lower than the other. That's that one. This one's fine. Okay, so I'm going to attach these from the top down. And I'll come out a little bit. We'll see how I want the camera. I can zoom in when I'm editing, so I might come out for now, and then if I need to zoom in to show you. I just need to make sure I'm in camera shot. Quite often I start working closer towards myself because of my eyesight. So I have to remember to stay on the brown paper. That's why it's there. It's like my guide. Okay, so this is the top one. It is going on here. What we're going to do is put flat double-sided tape here, and then just inside the petals, the mounting tape. So you don't want to attach the petals, you want to keep them loose. It's up to you how much mounting tapes and double-sided tapes you use. So this I'm just going to put in a diamond kind of, so it goes in and out like that and quite close to the heart. You still want it to be outside of the heart, so it sort of lifts like that. So I just cut sort of on an angle to create the little diamonds. You don't have to do every petal either if you don't want to. You just want to make sure it looks secure. I might Because this is the top one, maybe I will do it to each petal, but there's one more. Okay, so I'm gonna flower here. Peel these off. Use the weeding tool from the Cricut or whatever maker you've got, but I'm just gonna use my hands, nails today. So make sure you get the flower on the right side. I can tell this one's got this bulbous kind of section and this one's got a bit of the ink cut off at this top. So I'm going to stand up. A great way to do this is to get over it. So you can, I use my fingers on the paper and then try and adjust it to be over the top. Let's move you so you can sort of see what I'm doing. So I'm going to line it up, push it down in the middle, then press. See how when I press it sticks the petals up? Let's see if I can show you. So it's sort of sticking them up. That way you've got that center in. And then just attach. There. So you've already got this first layer done. If you want the petal to be higher, you can add another piece of mounting tape on top of the other mounting tape to make it higher, but this is a lot of levels already, so I don't think we need it. So we put an extra tight there and there. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. You can add some of the glossy accents, like I said. So this project isn't actually in a book. Same with the lamb. I don't think the lamb is either. They're new. There's no book out for them yet, but they will be as a PDF download on the Etsy store. The Etsy store is where I put my downloads. I'll have links to everything down below. But what a beautiful project that is. Let's see if I can get some card and see what it looks like on a card. Got a couple of different colours here. Pink. the yellow. That's pretty. Makes the flowers warmer. Pale green. Oh, I like that. Brings out the tips. And then a darker green. I've got lots of different carpet. Could be for forever. Not so sure about that one. I think these two. This one, the blue. I like the blue. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. And like I said, I'll be doing the lamb project next. My next project video. Pinch your back out. Yeah, so isn't that a delightful project for today? I hope you've enjoyed this, and give me a like if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, comment, please comment, let me know how you go if you've tried it. Any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for joining me today.